just a little quick talk about our Black Friday sale. I'm up here at Camp Hotland. It's my campground, my home away from home. I come up here, just got kicked back, just got ready, everything set up. But what I want to talk about is Black Friday sale. Sale that you're seeing now is just a pre-sale. So this won't go in effect till Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, on November 23rd, this coming Thursday. So click on the link. I'll put that link in the description. I'll put it at the very top where you can click on it. And remember, this is just a pre-sale. I'm putting this video right in front of the video you're getting ready to watch. And just to give you a little heads up about it. Thank you. Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees. I want to go in a little bit further detail. The last video I made, I didn't really get to talk about this. Well, I did, but I didn't really show what it looked like, the finished product of the shim that I put on top of my hives. Now this is probably a little bit overkill. This is a 3-inch. It doesn't need to be that tall. 1.5 inches would be plenty. 2 inches. But all I did was just like make a deep, make this the same size as the deep all the way around. And the only reason for this is to add space, to add extra space between your frames and your lid. And then all I do on top, now this is emergency feed for wintertime for the bees. And all I do is pour dry sugar. Now keep in mind, I'm way behind. Like I said in the last video, I had some medical issues and put me way behind. Can't be helped, just how it is sometimes. But they will be fine. This sugar, it's not like they would have ate this anyway. And today's 70 degrees, so it's a nice day. It's not too cold to get into your bees here in North Georgia. I can understand up north, if you get this late, it may be, but unless you get a nice day, you can get on top of your hives. But then you got to break your propolis seal. So it's kind of iffy there, but that propolis seal, closes your bees off, but they still will seal it. But try to do this if you're going to, when you hopefully got a few warm days ahead of you, we'll give them time to close it up and seal it up. This should have been done a month ago. Probably sometime in October would have probably been ideal, because at that time they're still bringing in goldenrod. So I don't really do it until the goldenrod ends, and it will take this sugar about a month to harden up where they can start feeding on it, but they won't even feed on it until their supplies are gone. And you see the mess I got out here. I got sugar laid out and another shim right there to go on an 8-frame. And let me show you here. Hold on just a second. I'll show you what the nukes look like. Okay, this is what I do for the nukes. This is a 5-frame nuke. This is our hive top feeder for our 5 frames or 2 frames. You can use these for the any of them. You can also use these for an 8-frame or a 10-frame. You just got to make you a base for it to hold it. Now, the ideal, I like keeping these type feeder boxes on here year round because they give adequate ventilation through the top. You see we got a vent hole here and a vent hole here, and we got plenty of ventilation. And what will happen here, there was a cup that goes on top of this, that you've seen these before in my videos, that keeps these bees from coming up and get into this part. They can either come down and come down the ladder. These are rigid inside and out, and those bees come up and they come down, they're limited to this inside area with this cap right here, where you remove the cap so they can get to this full access of sugar here. This will harden up in about a month, just like over on the 8 and 10 frame. But and you absolutely got to have this lid that goes on like this to keep them from getting out into the feeder, because once they get out here, they're going to be trapped and can't get back in. So that's what we do for our nukes. This works very well. We've used this for years. It's a good emergency feed. You can use, if you want to use sugar patties, the thing with this, the dry sugar turns into a sugar patty. It's basically the same thing. Once that moisture gets on it and it hardens up, the bees will start feeding on it just like they would a sugar patty. And you don't have to worry about it getting too wet or too dry. It'll come out just right. So that's why we always stick with just dry sugar. The last video, I didn't actually show the sugar on top of the hives. Let me show you one more thing before we go. Okay, if you remember me talking last time, I always said don't put the paper towel all the way around it on the outside. If you do, you'll suffocate the hive. I've done that before. It was a learning curve. It happened. So they won't get any ventilation at all, and they end up no airflow. You know, just like a chimney. Air comes in the bottom, comes out the top, and it carries moisture with it. Well, it didn't move. The air didn't move at all, and it killed the bees. So see here how I stopped right at the end and left those, and left this whole, I didn't cover it all the way out here, which would be hard to do with a paper towel anyway. Newspapers you can, but still you don't want to cover that up. This is just a paper towel, just an old shop towel. Well, new shop towel, not an old one, but they'll eat through that eventually. But leave this gap all the way around when you do this, and put your lid on. I do have extra vent holes right here. You don't necessarily have to put hardware cloth on them for this time of year, because it's not like you're gonna get any robin in November, December, January, February. So you can, or you don't have to. I don't. I just drilled the hole straight through, just to give them a little bit of extra ventilation on top coming out. Now I will put a reducer on the front of these hives, on all these, to reduce the size going in, and that will give them plenty of ventilation, pushing that moisture out. So that's about it, folks. That's all I want to talk about today. Don't forget, click on the little bell, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.